Alrighty. So let's do this. Can you hear me? All right. So this is my first ever live stream of Jacob Does Voices, which is basically me doing voice acting in monologues and one-off skits from my bedroom. And yeah, I'm just trying out something new here. Hoping to maybe make it a thing. So yeah, I'm new to this whole YouTube uh, deal, and as you can hear, I'm not a very articulate guy. So let's get on with some voice work here. I always wanted to do voice acting for a Batman villain, an original character. But never got the opportunity. So here is a monologue of me doing an original Batman villain's voice. So, what do I owe the pleasure of encountering you this evening? Did I possibly upset you? I'm certain I did. The problem is, I don't care that I upset you. I don't care that I did something that offended your perfect little moral compass. What I care about is that you, for some strange reason, decided to put yourself between me and my plans. I'm not a bad guy. I may have forced hundreds of people out of their homes in a massive real estate scheme. I may have staged a number of accidents across the city, but it was all for the greater good. I was planning on doing something very nice, you see. I was planning on, oh, I don't know, gentrifying Gotham. And the only way to really do that is to get rid of the city's undesirables. One tenement building at a time. If they don't like it, then they can always move. All right. As for a more comedic sounding voice, here you go, Skippy. Nice to meet you. Name is Willard. And yeah, in spite of my nasally voice and slight lisp, I'm actually pretty chill about the whole not being a good guy thing. Now, if you watch over there, you'll see my little plan in motion. Yep. Yeah, that right there is a Zeppelin loaded with explosives. Now, it's currently under a remote control, And as you can see, I'm the one in control of it. Well, not right now. Hands off, you know. Point is, I'm the only thing keeping that thing from colliding with any of the buildings you see here in this beautiful city skyline. And now, why would I do this? Why would I personally endanger the lives of countless Gothamites? The answer is money. And you think this Zeppelin is the only one? No, no, you have an entire airfield full of them. And I've commandeered each and every one of them. So, unless you want some unsolicited urban renovations, you're going to pay the ransom. And then I'm going to return your airships. Oh, and don't worry about me. I mean, the me you're seeing and interacting with right now isn't even the real me. No, it's a real life facsimile. Think of it like a highly advanced meat based android. As soon as its usefulness is, you know, run its course, this thing will biodegrade and I will have my money wired to me and you won't know where I am. That's the initial plan. I don't think it's going to work, but here's hoping. I'm just wondering how soon Gotham's going to wire me the funds. So that was my silly voice. Wish I had more enthusiasm for this, but damn, I'm depressed. I have been depressed for some time. And it's good to try new things to get yourself out of a depression. I'm going to keep on trying new things like these short little live streams. Keep on working on my voice acting. I can do a couple accents before I, end this. So, have you ever wondered why it's so easy to make fun of people with accents? Some accents are easy to do, some are hard. For instance, when one does a certain kind of accent, it sounds similar to another kind of accent. Sometimes you have to take linguistical prompts, mispronounce words, just to make it sound similar to what you think the accent sounds like. And then from that point on, you have to deal with the voice, the accent itself, the code switch in the dialects, and all that junk. Personally, I love doing certain voices because, in some sense, you gotta do a different voice every once in a while just to sound funny, make things, more entertaining. Generally, I enjoy making things entertaining. Now, could I read a script? Well, I certainly would try to. I would have to rehearse it over and over again. I'm not very good with delivering lines. Now, as you can see, I'm barely able to keep myself from, either staring directly into the camera or just staring off into space, which, in many cases, can be very, very complicated. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to just walk off into the distance and seem like they're lost in their own little world. Anyway, I'm just looking for any kind of feedback. If I get feedback, I'll be happy. If I don't, well, I guess I'm just being me. Uh, got 10 minutes and 22 seconds on here. I don't know how long I can keep this up.
Back to the silly voice. So, have you ever wondered about flat earthers? You have to have a special kind of stupid to believe in the flat earth. I mean, let's go back to the Middle Ages, shall we? Let's uh, let's dust off the old witch burning kits and start praying to the mysterious Sky Father who keeps the glass dome over the flat plain, shall we? The flat earthers are a special kind of crazy, and then there's hollow earthers. Maybe that might exist. I mean, there are very vast cave systems, and a lot of them aren't fully explored. Um, but I wouldn't say hollow earth. It's more like porous earth, like spongy earth. Like there's holes in there that we just don't know about. Probably shouldn't even look into, but somebody's gonna find one. And they're gonna do some sort of stupid research. I mean, there are people who are currently boring down as far as they can go just to find microbes for science. I personally enjoy the idea of science. I mean, a process in which we run confirmation testing and develop new things based off of observed theories that have been tested and tested again, and peer reviewed. I think sometimes we need better peer review processes. I mean, where the hell does the science end and the sponsorships begin? I mean, a lot of businesses put their fingers on the scales of what science actually dictates. I think it's a travesty, but well, what the hell?
Ultimately, going to a different voice now, you got to do some things. You got to figure things out for yourself. You got to do what you got to do. For example, I'm doing this voice thing because I'm between work right now. I'm looking for a new kind of gimmick. I would love to be a voice actor. I mean, I would absolutely love it. Because, one, I get to make silly voices and make people laugh with the silly voices or make them cry. It depends. If you want me to be a bad guy, I'll be a bad guy. You want me to be a good guy, I'll be a good guy. But I'd rather just be the guy making the funny noises.
Because sometimes you just have to make a funny noise, or just make the weirdest sounding voice you can, and just run with it. Be the guy. Be the squeaky, squeaky guy. Sometimes you just have to burn it all down. Burn it down to the ground and start all over. Make yourself into the person you want to be. Put in the effort. Try. It's an uphill struggle. Life itself is just an endless march uphill until your body goes to shit on you. And then it's, straight downhill from there.
Generally, I find it to be fascinating that we all have our moments of triumph and failure, effort and defeat, working for a common goal, a common good. But sometimes just be yourself. Be the you that you have to be. Be proud of who you are. That's the only way you can really start making improvements is accepting yourself. Accepting yourself for all of your shortcomings, all of your faults, and all of your flaws. I really wish I could have, you know, some outreach, get some people on board. This is like my first ever one of these. And, well, I'm new. I'm not. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The more I do of this, the better I'll probably get in the future. But hey, until then, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Almost at the 20-minute mark here. Got 16 minutes and 30 seconds down. 31. So, getting on to some different voice registers. Somebody tell me, what should I do? Ever on and on I continue, circling with nothing but my hate in this carousel of agony. Slowly I forget, and my heart starts vanishing, and suddenly I see that I can't break free. And maybe it's a dream, maybe none of this is real, but it wouldn't mean a thing if I told you how I feel. I'm tired of all the hate and the misery I hide, and I wish that I could live feeling nothing but the night. Am I hurting? Am I sad? Should I stay or should I go? I've forgotten how to tell. Did I ever truly know? Can I make another move? I've done everything I can. All the people that I see, I will never understand. Am I crying in the wind? Am I crying in the night? Will there ever be a place for the broken in the light? Um, Tick, tick, tock, the time bomb clock ticks, grinning ear to ear, baby. Tick, tick, tock, the time bomb clock keeps counting down. Tick, tick, stop. You know I speak in riddles, and I'm plotting to destroy. Villain as I always was, crazy is as crazy does. So, have you ever wondered what life would be like in a zombie movie? Like, legitimately wondered about that. Honestly, depending on the kind of zombie, it could be manageable. I mean, like, if you throw out the whole concept of zombie movie logic, like, if you actually had a zombie outbreak in the real world, like, we have so much zombie media that
frankly, I'm going to be honest. We got so much zombie media that we would be hard pressed to keep the rednecks from hunting them. I mean, even if we're talking about the green flu style zombies, you can guarantee a bunch of rednecks will try to hunt them. Hey, girl, take a look. Got some walkers. Don't call them that. Well, what am I supposed to call them? They're not clickers. They're not the mushroom zombies. And they're not like 28 days later rage zombies. They're shamblers. On the topic of a shambler, that is actually one of the most dangerous zombies. And let me get to the point. It's not the threat of being bitten or torn apart. It's the disease vectors. A rotting corpse that's moving around is going to spread a lot of disease. In fact, I have often wondered, a more realistic zombie movie might not be about the zombies attacking people. It might just simply be because they are moving disease vectors. Say, the zombies are caused by a very invasive form of parasitic slime mold. Now, the mold migrates the host in order to spread its spores. While doing so, the host is breaking down and spreading other things. It's bacterial aftermath. Now, this means there's virus vectors, bacterial vectors, and of course the whole series of toxic chemicals that come with a decomposing corpse. In this scenario, zombies would be more of a weather front, something that would have public services taxed to their absolute limits. I mean, emergency workers would lose their absolute mind. And imagine turning on the TV in the morning and seeing your local zombie migration routes. This is Dan Douglas. News today. Checking out the ground from Newscopter 5. And it looks like there's going to be a delay on the freeway as the local zombie quarantine forces are out in full force, clearing the road from what looks to be a Class 5 shambler migration. Motorists are advised to avoid the area entirely, and please don't try to run over the zombies. The objective here is not to spread any of their bacterial waste. A rotting corpse is a rotting corpse. Now, in a scenario where you have just the pure corpse threat zombie, like the disease vectors of the undead, and no threat of being bitten and turned or ripped apart by them, you might get trampled, let's be honest. If they are just mindlessly moving in a migrational pattern toward point A to point B, highly likely trampling is a cause of death. Because you get a lot of them together, you're going to get that whole momentum of mass moving forward. But realistically, being trampled is not the thing that you're more likely to die from. Think about one of those corpses getting into the water table. All your drinking water is now fouled by corpse rot. Like I said, it would be a first responder's nightmare. As for another oddball thing, just shooting it out there,
Why hasn't anyone ever done a movie, like a science fiction movie, that was just pure comedy on its premise? The aliens arrive on Earth, and it turns out that they have a few questions for us, such as what we call ourselves as a species. And when we tell them we call ourselves human, they act immediately dejected. Not like somehow alienated further than just being an alien. No, they are upset because we are like the 9,000th species they have contacted to call themselves humans. And when they ask us what we call our planet, and we tell them Earth, that absolute facepalm moment hits when the aliens confirm that we are probably around the 12,000th species that has named their planet Earth, or some variation of dirt. The whole premise of the film would be finding common ground in uncommon territory as an intergalactic mainstay is established. The majority of all life that this intergalactic council of extraterrestrials have encountered all state, yes, we called ourselves human. We still do call ourselves human. But now we have like a Dewey Decibel system of humans from varying planets based off of their stellar coordinates. And you humans of, what do you call this solar system? You just call it the solar system? Oh, you fuck. Well, you, the humans of Sol System 12,083, welcome to the galaxy. I mean, come on. If I ever actually had the chance to make a movie, I would like to make a comedic apocalypse film. Like a series of short skits, all highlighting the different ways the world is supposed to end, and shown in a dark comedy light. Like, one scene has the protagonist for that vignette sitting down and cracking open a beer as he's watching the asteroid come careening towards the Earth. On the topic of apocalypse films that would be funny, a talking animal movie where the entire animal kingdom rises up and reverse Dr. Doolittle's us. Now, the animals are not outwardly aggressive any more so than they naturally are. But now, for some reason, every living creature on the planet can verbally and non-verbally communicate and understand each other. Yeah, like with each other. I mean, let's be honest. That would be freaking out a lot of people. And just for shits and giggles, I would love to have Samuel L. Jackson do the voice work for a freaking hornet and have the whole "excuse me, it's ma'am" moment because the majority of hornets are female, like hornets and paper wasps. I'd also like Terry Crews to do another bee, just to be hilarious. Just have the most macho black male actors' voices assigned to animals that are distinctly female, just to fuck with people. And I know. It's crude, it's crass, but it would be hilarious. Ah, a science fiction comedy that would be a one-off, just for shits and giggles. This is a concept I've been mulling around with. Titled "Dicks with Time Machines." It's a movie about two guys named Richard who literally invent time travel on the exact same day. And they try to use it to fix their lives. But nothing they do by altering the past has any effect on their lives when they return to the present. And the reason why is every time they go back in time, they are actually creating an alternate reality. So when they return to the present, they're returning to their own reality. And the only way that they can actually experience the changes that they have established in that alternate reality for themselves is if they stayed in that reality that they altered. Now, running gag would be the two characters gradually figuring out nothing they're doing is affecting history. So they start escalating, doing crazier and crazier shit until eventually they have run the full gambit of all the things that can screw up history. Every butterfly effect that they could possibly, you know, trigger. And eventually they get to the whole, well, we shouldn't ever interact with our past selves moment. When they do test that theory, they end up accidentally confirming the multiverse theory because they're just interacting with a younger version of themselves who's molecularly an entirely different person. Well, that's my over a half hour. So I'm going to get off here and, you know, let you do your thing. What's this edit button do? Boop, boop, boop. Well, how do I stop this? Ah. And there we go. End of stream.